virus stops with every vaccinated person.
What if the entire pandemic was built on lies?
Vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick.
Lockdowns, masks, vaccines, herd immunity, all sold as science.
And if you're attacking me, you're really attacking science. I mean, everybody knows that. By following the scientific data and the scientific evidence.
Screw your freedom.
In this video, we expose the biggest lies that shaped the lives of billions.
Stay informed. Follow Freedom Research on X for exclusive investigations.
Before the pandemic, the playbook was clear. Lockdowns don't work, and their harms could be devastating. Yet, as China implemented a zero-COVID lockdown, a coordinated push emerged to make lockdowns a global policy, with no scientific precedent.
We'll stop all gatherings of more than 2 people.
The only way this stops is if people stay home.
When we were first talking about the shutdown, I was like, wow, we're really going to do this. Are people really willing to do this? I wish we'd practice for this because it's such a novel idea.
Do you think the fact that China went into this very strict lockdown very quickly set the tone for the way other countries responded? Because that was not really part of the epidemiological playbook before.
No, you're absolutely right.
Is to try to prevent as many infections as you possibly can prevent.
Sweden is still refusing to order a lockdown anywhere.
Sweden had the lowest excess mortality in Europe. Only isolated island nations could fully contain the virus. Any debate on lockdowns was silenced. Sweden's approach was forbidden to even consider. In the end, the original pandemic playbook was right, and the lockdown policies destroyed economies, societies, and lives. They left the impression that lockdowns were sound science, but in reality, it was a huge gamble with humanity.
2 weeks to flatten the curve thing. Do you remember that? 2 weeks to flatten the curve?
Yeah.
At the start of the pandemic, we were shown videos of people collapsing, creating panic. But it quickly became clear, COVID-19 is a respiratory virus, and the vast majority will survive. Still, media and policymakers suppress this information, using fear to enforce compliance. The message was everywhere. Everyone is at risk. Nobody is safe.
The worst is yet ahead of us.
Early in the pandemic, an outbreak occurred on the cruise ship Diamond Princess. About 20% of the 3,700 people on board were infected. The majority of the elderly survived the virus, and only around 1% died. Research confirms the risk of death for children and adolescents is tiny, around 0.0003%, rising to 0.5% for those aged 60 to 69. At first, the WHO, top health officials, and even Anthony Fauci told the public not to wear masks. Masks were understood to do little in large community settings.
There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. There are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
You know, the medical experts, we didn't know about mask wearing.
Then, almost overnight, the message flipped. Masks were suddenly hailed as essential to stop the virus. 2 years of mandates relied on low-quality studies, lab experiments, and computer models, not real-world evidence. Debate was silenced and non-compliance punished. When larger studies arrived, they confirmed what was already known. Masks make little or no difference. For years, the world endured mandates that barely moved the needle. One of the biggest lies: we were sold a vaccine that would end the pandemic. We were told the virus would vanish if everyone got vaccinated.
We know that the vaccine is 95% effective in preventing you from getting sick.
Vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick.
But the virus stops with every vaccinated person.
Umbrella of herd immunity because you won't have any infections.
This promise drove global mandates.
Would you like to see it mandated for students elsewhere in the U.S.?
And I actually encourage it because I think that's one of the ways that we can get many, many more people vaccinated.
We'll keep pushing to get every eligible American vaccinated.
But immunologists have long known, for respiratory viruses like influenza and coronaviruses, long-lasting sterilizing immunity is impossible. These viruses mutate rapidly, which is why we need a new flu vaccine every year. Real immunity happens in the mucous membranes of the airways, not from an injection in the arm. Vaccine studies were never designed to test if the shot stopped transmission. Participants weren't regularly swabbed, only checked for symptoms.
When we start the deployment of this vaccine, we will not have sufficient concrete data to prove that this vaccine reduces transmission.
Policymakers turned herd immunity into a moving target. 60%, 70%, 80%.
You want to get to herd immunity? Let's get those people vaccinated.
Around 70%.
You need to get 70, maybe 85% of
vaccinate 70 or 80% of the world.
Every time a goal was reached, infections surged and booster shots were forced. In the end, it wasn't science, it was marketing.
Why they see some breakthrough cases of vaccinated people getting the disease.
Given the waning of immunity, right now boosters are going to be very important. A third shot.
They promised the vaccines were rigorously tested and completely safe.
And what we know about their safety and effectiveness is about as good as we've ever known about any vaccine.
But once rolled out, people worldwide reported record numbers of side effects. Many shared serious health problems on social media, only to be censored or banned. Their stories were dismissed as unverified. The media did their best to downplay any concerns. Today, thousands of peer-reviewed studies document a wide range of side effects. But there is still no acknowledgement of the injured community, as they are left without help or compensation.
Some European countries like Sweden and Denmark have decided to stop using the COVID-19 vaccine from Moderna for certain age groups due to the risk of heart inflammation.
Well, if you had COVID-19, a recent medical study found there is an increased risk of dying from a heart attack.
Join the fight to defend our freedoms. Follow Freedom Research on X.